Hi.
Hello.
Sorry, I accidentally removed you by
It's okay.
running this on my iPad. So
I
it's
didn't take it personally. It's okay.
I'm gonna make you co-host just
Okay.
to have backup in case something goes wrong on my end.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll open the meeting, and then I'll discuss the proposed removal, and then I'll close the hearing, and then we're just going to open the public shade tree committee meeting for you to discuss at that point, and then close it, and then I'll open it again.
Okay. So we don't vote in the committee meeting, we vote in the hearing.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
So well, technically, you don't vote during the hearing. We close the hearing during the hearing webinar. During the hearing webinar, you essentially say we are now opening the public shade tree committee meeting to discuss the tree hearing recommendation.
Okay.
You have your conversation, your meeting, you end it. I open the tree hearing again, all in the same webinar. And then when we're done with the tree hearing, we close it and we go back. We all log in on the committee's meeting.
Okay.
Zoom meeting. Yeah.
Try to follow this. I should have paid more attention last time, but
well,
okay.
There's got to be a better way to do it. This is, I guess if I plan better, we could just make it all the shade tree committee Zoom meeting. And I post that on the tree hearing notice that goes out and stuff like that. But
okay.
generally not that ready. So who else do we have? Oh boy, we got a lot of people. Okay. And Lappin, analyst, Julian.
Hello.
Oh.
Hi. Hello.
There's 7 people here, supposedly.
Yeah, you're all slowly coming through.
Yeah.
So it looks like the committee's here. I don't see any members of the general public yet.
Oh, Brooks is here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he's sort of both.
Yeah.
There he is.
All right, so I'm going to start the recording. Oh, it's already recording. Okay. All right, so the time is now 5:03 on November 4th, 2025 at 5:03 p.m. I'm going to be opening a public shade tree hearing in accordance with the provisions of Mass General Law, Chapter 87, Section 3, shade trees. The tree warden is holding a public hearing, a virtual public hearing for the proposed removal of the following public shade tree: a sorry, 21-inch crabapple at 422 Amity Street for the proposed, or for the construction of a roundabout at the intersection of University Drive and Amity Street. The recommendation for removal is coming from the town of Amherst DPW for the construction of the town roundabout there. So, essentially, the town has begun construction already on the roundabout. There was a little bit of a, I guess, misunderstanding of boundaries at the beginning of the project, and the tree in question was thought to be on private property. It turns out that it's on town property. That's why we had sort of a late notice in the need to remove this tree instead of finding out earlier on in the process. But so the tree, if you are standing at the 422 Amity Street parking lot looking east, you would see the crabapple that's being proposed for removal. It's a healthy crabapple tree, 21 inches in diameter, approximately 15 feet tall, probably about 30-foot diameter crown, with no apparent defects in it. The construction proposes to go, the new curb line for the roundabout is going to go right through the tree, essentially, on this side of the road. The town did preserve 4 of the red maple trees on the east side of University Drive that will remain. They're holding the back edge of the sidewalk there, so those trees are not going to be directly impacted by the construction project. Let's see if there's any other information on the tree. I think that pretty much covers it. I'm just going to open this up for questions for the committee at this moment. If any of the committee members have questions about the tree.
I just want to reiterate or ask that the town will be planting not a replacement tree there, but they have plans to plant several other trees.
We have plans to plant new trees in the center of the roundabout.
Okay.
The project is pretty much taking up all of the public way. So we're not really going to have any space in the public way to plant trees. So I'll be working with the adjacent property owners to plant trees in the setback around there. There's also a new development going on at 422 University Drive, sorry, Amity Street, that will result in new mature size shade trees being planted down Amity Street to the west, and I guess it would be to the south on University Drive. UMass owns the property that is on the opposite side of Amity Street from 422. And I'm not sure at the moment what their plans are, but I would be reaching out to them for permission to plant trees in the setback on that side of the street. I'm not sure what they have plans for sort of gateway.
Alan, do you know, will there be a sidewalk on that side, on the UMass side, like going to the stadium and the sundial?
That's a great question. The plan does not show a sidewalk on that side of the street. Just they make a better connection to the existing sidewalk. It's a multi-use path actually that runs from Amity Street all the way to UMass past the, but the plan doesn't show a new sidewalk on the stadium side of University.
Okay.
It looks like they're making a better pedestrian crossing on the street there, so people can get across the street better, safer.
Thank you.
It's a good question.
Brooks has a question.
Brooks? You're muted, Brooks.
I'm muted. You're on mute.
How about now?
That's better.
Okay. So my question is more about our role in these kind of hearings. What are our powers? What could we do if we had a problem? And this one, it seems like it's almost a given, but if we disagreed with the plan, what would that look like? Or if we disagreed within ourselves about what we should say about this.
So the way the hearing works with the Public Safety Committee is that the committee makes a recommendation to the tree warden. It's not, you know, it's a recommendation, so it
Yeah.
doesn't carry the same, you know, if a citizen objects to a removal of public shade tree, that will then engage another level of review by the town manager. So we take the removal decision away from the tree warden and give it to the town manager to make. The committee will ultimately, we'll be closing the tree hearing and opening a committee meeting where the committee will discuss and make a vote on a recommendation to the tree warden. And then I'll open the hearing back up again and I'll have my decision at that point. But the committee discusses, you know, a recommendation. You know.
Okay. Thank you.
So if I can say something, excuse me, the committee can make a recommendation and the tree warden makes the decision. However, any of us as individuals can put in an objection, which would then bring it to the town manager.
Okay. Good.
Let's see, Brooks, you still have your hand up? Guess I have to click on it. There we go. Any other questions from committee? All right, do we have any questions from the general public? I don't have any public in the waiting room or attendees. All right, well, I think at this point then at 5:12, I'm going to temporarily close the hearing and Alan's going to open up a Public Safety Committee meeting so that you can discuss your recommendation and have a vote. So I'm closing the hearing at 12:15. Alan?
Sorry, Alan. Should I text you when we need it reopened or?
I'll stay and listen and
Oh, okay.
you know, we all stay in, we stay on the Zoom meeting, this
Okay.
webinar. And I'll answer questions during discussion if you have any.
We just have to do it on a different Zoom.
No, we do it on this Zoom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're just gonna open a meeting, that's all. You're
Okay.
gonna have a- Yep.
But do we have to wait till 5:30 to do that?
No,
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll start our regular meeting at,
at 5:30.
so we'll discuss outside of the hearing, outside of the regular meeting now, and then open a regular meeting at 5:30.
Yes.
Okay.
By the way, Sarah's on, so maybe promote her to a panelist.
Okay, thank you for noticing.
Okay, so I will open a official meeting of the Amherst Public Shade Tree Committee. It is Tuesday, November 4th at 5:14 p.m. And this is to discuss and take a vote on the proposed removal of the crabapple tree at Amity and University Drive. Does anybody have any ideas or thoughts that they'd like to share?
I mean, I guess to Brooks's question just now, or in the hearing, about, not quite question, but point about basically the fate of this tree is a foregone conclusion, right? Because it's for a town project, that will be moving forward, whether we vote to remove to support the removal or not. I guess I would say, in this case, it's not a huge tree, it's not a particularly old tree, but it is a healthy tree nonetheless, and it's, been around for at least a couple of decades. And, I would like to continue to find ways for this committee to push back against, removing trees for road projects. And I know that the town went to, lengths to preserve as many trees as possible, and that this tree is the smallest of, out of the ones that could have been removed, and I appreciate that. But it is, perhaps a very small example of a larger issue that continues to come up. So
Thank you,
just-
Britt.
just
I agree.
sharing
I
that, yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think this is a good example of what I shared last meeting with that, we need to maybe attend some of these planning meetings and sort of get in early on the conversations and knowledge of what's happening. If there are, I don't know that this is a significant tree, but if
Right.
significant trees are being considered, we'd want to know about it much earlier. I agree, it's a little frustrating that it's a foregone conclusion. There's not much we can do about, I think, about this one. And I don't know if we can, I don't know what meeting, would it be the planning department that this would have been considered in, or does anybody know what department these type of, is it DPW, planning department, zoning? I'm not quite sure.
I think this falls under DPW, so they do have a pedestrian bicycle road, committee that meets regularly to discuss, road projects and pedestrian access and bike lanes. And they meet, regularly, like the Shade Tree Committee does, to discuss, our roads and pedestrian and multimodal, transportation around town.
Yeah, I
That-
wonder if
that's
it
one
might,
committee.
I wonder if it might be useful for one of us to attend one of those meetings and just let them know that we exist, and that, I'm thinking of like the Complete Streets projects in particular, but also these other, town sponsored road and sidewalk improvement projects. But just to, they're looking out for pedestrians and cyclists and all of that, which is great, but I think the trees get lost sometimes. So even just, getting it on their radar that we exist, and that it would be great to take trees into account too. And that might be one step forward.
I attended one of their meetings multiple years ago, probably in the pandemic, but I'd be happy to attend again.
Yeah, I would be happy to also, Julian.
We used to keep track of town meetings, that was someone's job. Keep track of what town meetings are coming up, which ones might affect trees. We would send people, we've had, some sort of liaisons with the planning board and with design review standards and a bunch of other boards. We have gone to the meetings, and we should continue or redo that again.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. At least like looking through when meetings are posted and if they're sharing the agendas publicly. I think that's, I don't want to like create unnecessary work for the members of the committee, but there might be a few here and there that are worth, attending or chiming in on, at least for a few minutes.
Yeah, all the agendas have to be posted So we can definitely check ahead of time, and I just am not clear exactly what committees that we can discuss it in our next meeting, what committees specifically we should focus in on, because there's a lot of town committees, so I don't want to waste anybody's time. Any other thoughts to share?
I'd like to.
Yes, Sarah.
So I want to disclose that I work at Fuss and O'Neill, which is the company doing the plan. It's not a project I'm working on, but I don't think I have any conflict of interest, but just putting that out there in full disclosure. And I think this, like, I think there's a broader issue that we were talking about making sure we're aware of what trees are coming down. In this particular case, I feel pretty confident that, you know, like if a tree to make this fit, that the crabapple is like the tree to choose and the others to save. I also think in an instance like this, like almost where it's a foregone conclusion, it's a way for us to have some input on the trees that are going to get planted in the future. So I think our committee could make recommendations about the size, the species, and the on-center spacing, like the density of the street tree planting to be done in the future associated with this road project. So if anybody wants to think about what we might recommend for replacement trees, maybe it's a foregone conclusion that this tree has to come out and we don't have a lot of say in that, but I think we could still have a voice in what is going to get planted in the future.
That's really great, Sarah. Would we make that recommendation with your company or with the developer? Do you know?
I think we'd make it now as part of our condition of, like, we understand, you know, whether or not we support it, we understand the tree has to be removed, and then we recommend that the trees be replaced to, you know, that the tree selections be native species, that we would like to be consulted in the final planting list or planting plan for proposed species and on-center spacing, that we recommend mature shade trees be planted, so that we're just kind of guiding with the planting part of this road development.
Excuse me 1 minute. Brooks, can you mute yourself? There seems to be a lot of static coming, and I think it's coming from your side.
Okay, so we can take a vote, and I think having Sarah's summary there would be part of our vote, if we can put that in as a recommendation. And I know we have to vote individually, not by raising hands. So I guess I can go first.
Ellen, can I make a recommendation?
Yeah.
So like before you vote, I would just, you need to work on the recommendation first and then vote on the recommendation.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't typing what she said.
We should probably wordsmith it too, but something that, like, the Shade Tree Committee understands the removal of this tree is necessary, and for replacement plantings associated with this project, we request that final planting plan, species, and on-center spacing be run by the committee prior to approvals.
All right, I'm sorry, it's taking me a minute to open up my a new doc. All right, you recognize, I'm sorry, can you sort of say?
No, I'll do my best, and someone else can chime in because it
Sounded really good the first time, Sarah.
Yeah.
So whatever you just said, say that again.
We understand our committee understands the necessary removal of the crabapple tree in question for this road project, and requests that replacement tree plantings associated with the project be run by the committee prior to approval. We're specifically looking at tree species, and on center spacing.
And maturity, maybe.
Yeah, caliper size at
Yeah.
yeah. So that'd be installation size. Tree species, installation size, and on center spacing. And there's going to be like a design standard. I'm sure they're referring to either state, town, or DOT standards for those things, but it'd just be nice for us to have a look at them and approve it as a committee before it's the final planting plan.
Okay, so Alan, so I need to make a motion then, sort of, we're gonna vote to approve or disapprove of the, I'm sorry, you'll have to walk me through.
Yeah, you will ask someone to
Someone move
I'll
to,
make a
move to,
motion.
yes,
Yeah.
thank you, move to,
To-
motion to move. the-
Real quick,
Vote.
before we do that, do we want to have it run by the language was requested replacement tree plantings associated with the project be basically run by the committee for our approval? Do we want it by the committee or by the tree warden? Or does it make a difference? It seems like it would be more efficient and probably quicker for them to run it by the tree warden, but I don't know.
I think either way is fine. I'm happy with tree warden is probably easier.
Well, if I understood that correctly, you're saying that the committee wants to have input into the species selection size and spacing density and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it makes sense to ask for the committee. And also, you know, I think it sets a precedent for the future with development projects. And, you know, if in 10 years Alan is not tree warden, or 20 years or 30 years, Alan, however many years,
Or 5.
or 5, yeah, then we can, you know, we don't know who the next tree warden is going to be. We might want to set that precedent of like, it comes to the committee.
Fair point.
I think it also makes sense if the committee wants to develop standards that are different
Right.
regarding tree plantings in town. So like right now, I don't know how developed we have in terms of like town planting recommendations or requirements, but that might be something that we're interested in developing further. So I think it makes sense to come to the committee. Like a
Great.
suggested street tree planting list. These are pre-approved species, select from this list. These are you know, species that are forbidden's a strong word, but you know, like no invasives, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't think I'm not, to my knowledge, have anything like that. So that might be a really nice thing to have, and we can add that to the website too. And talk about that. Okay.
Well, in
Okay, so-
terms,
Yeah,
in
go
terms
ahead.
of this tree, I make a motion that we accept the removal of this tree with the conditions as stated by Sarah.
I'll second if that helps.
Okay. I'll vote yes.
I vote
Henry?
yes.
Okay, Sarah votes yes. Julian?
I vote yes.
Britt?
I think I'd like to abstain.
Okay.
It seems silly for a small tree, but I hate the idea of cutting down a healthy tree for like a road.
I understand. Bennett?
I vote yes.
Okay. I think we all vote yes hesitantly, but yes. Okay.
Except Britt.
Yes. Okay. So if that's 5 yeses, 1 abstention. Okay.
Do we have a secretary for this meeting? Someone taking notes? That would have been good to start with, but
I wrote down Sarah's,
okay.
so thank you for your votes. I know we have to get to the next meeting. Alan, should I type this up for you?
Yes, if you could, type that up with the recommendation.
I will.
And get that to me. I will include it with my decision.
Okay. And now you're going to close this meeting and we'll go to the other
You-
one?
Yeah, you can close it and then I'll open my hearing back up again.
Okay. I'm closing the Public Shade Tree Committee meeting. We will now go over to the other Zoom and have our November.
I'm gonna make my recommendation before we close the hearing. So you just close this. We're not
Okay.
leaving yet. Yeah,
Okay. Did I close it? Is
you
that?
closed it.
Okay, sorry.
So at 5:30, yeah, the Shade Tree Committee closed their hearing, their meeting, and the tree warden at 5:30 is opening the tree hearing back up again for the removal of the crabapple tree at 422 Henry Street. The committee recommended to remove the tree in a 5 in favor, 1 abstaining. Was that the?
Correct.
And I will, as tree warden, recommend the removal of the tree so the project can move forward. I will work with the town to plant new trees, large shade trees as much as possible throughout the project when it's completed. And work with the neighboring property owners to, find space for trees adjacent to the public way. So I recommend the removal of the tree. I'm going to close the shade tree hearing now at 5:31 on November 4th. This again will be viewable to the public at the end of the day on Friday if people want to view it, the tree hearing. So we need to close out and go back to your Zoom links and open up the Public Shade Tree Committee. Thank you.
Thank you.